Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling, coming to you live from the Dave Cave. My name is Dave Little, and I am so pleased to have folks here to tune in for this year's edition of the Buckeye Bowl. This will be an experiment for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have never done a Buckeye Bowl live on YouTube before. And I am trying some new gaming techniques today. In years past, this Buckeye Bowl took all day, and was not something I felt comfortable broadcasting. But I have done some things to streamline the Buckeye Bowl contest, and we'll go through the rules here momentarily. As you can see on screen, we have 30 contenders lined up. Representatives from each of our men's territories, Pro Wrestling Mid-America, the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, and Patriot Championship Wrestling, have come to Columbus to participate in the Buckeye Bowl. The second thing you should be aware of, if you have followed the channel, I have been battling a sinus infection for a few weeks. So this broadcast will also involve some coughing and some clearing of the throat as I try to keep things hydrated and keep my voice in shape over the course of this broadcast. Now, let's go through the rules. And the rules for this have been adopted from the rules for Battle Royals and for the Royal Rumble, which were published by S.T. Patrick in his Squared Circle wrestling game. Rather than having each competitor fight in each individual round of the Buckeye Bowl, which is why it took all day, we will use S.T. Patrick's rules for deciding who battles it out in each round before we bring a new guy into the fracas. And you'll see this as we go along. The Squared Circle rules give each player an adjustment, so I have added that adjustment to the Buckeye Bowl rules. Your power is doubled, plus your agility, plus an adjustment for your cage rating. And that will determine your overall adjustment. For example, I've got Strangler Ed Lewis here on the top of the stack. He has a power of -2, so that gives him a 4-point adjustment. He has an agility of -1, so that's an extra point, making it 5. He has a cage rating of 2, so he gets an extra 3 points for that. Strangler Ed Lewis will have an adjustment rating of 8 for the Buckeye Bowl. In each round, we will choose the highest and lowest roll, and the higher roll will attack the lower roll on level 3 offense. And I have a variety of Battle Royal charts: the premature elimination chart, the elimination chart, and then what I call the last chance roll for people that are hit with a finisher. The last chance roll is simply a roll of D20. And as you go through the rounds, you'll see it gets more challenging each round. In the first few rounds, you've got to make a target of 10. Think of that, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons player, think of that as like your saving throw, basically. And then as you go further into the match, the target gets higher, so it's easier and easier to get eliminated as you go further into the match. If you have an ally in the ring, you can get a bonus on your last chance roll. If you are double teamed, you immediately have to make that last chance roll. And if you have an ally in the ring and you hit a defensive tag roll, you will get a reversal. Question from Carl Zilla: how do you handle the plus and minus on power and agility? That is a great question. What I did for today was simply use the negative power ratings, the good power as bonuses, and I did not make any subtractions. So if you look, for example, at Brian Danielson, he has an agility of -4, so I gave him a 4-point bonus for that. I did not subtract anything for his power, and maybe I should do that in future iterations of this, but like I said, this is an experiment. So I've got a couple of tools here that I am using for this experiment. For starters, we will be using the Buckeye Bowl score sheet to track each of the entries from 1 to 30. Their adjustments will be added, and then the eliminations and the roll, which will give them a total adjustment for each round, a total value for each round. And in fact, I'm going to make this big enough to fill the screen. I also have, let's see, we're going to make that about half the screen width and full height, so we can see all 30 rounds. I also have a dice rolling screen here for the offense, defense, and last chance rolls. And I think that is all of the tools that we're going to need for this. And the worksheet will be over here on my monitor off screen. So this should get us through the Buckeye Bowl. So I have got the 30 wrestlers in the stack. Let's just get rolling and see what happens. And Carl Zilla, thank you for being here. Looks like we've got just one viewer right now. It's you and me, Carl Zilla. So if you have suggestions, feel free to put those in the chat. Like I said, we're making this up as we go along, and this is simply designed to be fun. And I'm going to need to go to that window. So the first wrestler announced for the Royal Rumble is Antonino Roca. Antonino Roca is number 1. And he has an adjustment of 6. So Roca comes out to the applause of the fans here in Columbus, representing Pro Wrestling Mid-America. And none too happy to be the number 1 guy coming out for this Battle Royal. I mentioned allies, and the way this works is that from each of the 3 federations, I have selected 4 heels and 4 baby faces, and your ally will be considered to be somebody from your federation who is the same alignment as you. So 2 heels from Pro Wrestling Mid-America will help each other. 2 baby faces from Patriot Championship Wrestling will help each other, etc. And along the way, I have a couple of wild card entries. There are some opportunities for managers to get involved, but as I mentioned, we will make this up as we go along, as we wait for our second entry to come into the ring, and that's going to be Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle coming in at number 2. And again, not a happy look on the face of Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle is a +8 on his adjustment. So we'll put in a formula for the roll here. Random between 1 and 20. Okay, and we'll add that here, and then the total will be equals adjustment plus roll. Okay, so that's how we will do things, and then we will roll the dice here, and it looks like Antonino Roca gets the advantage. So it is Roca who gets the first opportunity here to roll, And we roll the dice, and he rolls a 5. That's a series of drop kicks, and that's an add 1 and a hurt 2. So since Angle took an add 1, his adjustment will drop 1. And Roca maintains control on level 2 offense. And I'm sure, Carl Zella, you could do better dice than this. Yeah, I created a visual desktop dice roll. I was looking for that. Something like that online and couldn't find anything really good, so I just kind of made my own. And now open hand chops delivered by Roca, and Angle is a dazed 1. And now a high hip roll attempted by Roca. This is a choice B maneuver, so he is going to attempt, let's see, the choice B. Oh gosh, I need to grab my charts. Wasn't sure I would need charts for this. That's going to be agility or the turnbuckle. And what the heck, we'll do the turnbuckle. And I have a Battle Royal chart that takes into account these ratings. So from the Battle Royal chart, Angle has a roll of A. And that takes us to roll on the appropriate chart situation. So a turnbuckle A3 is going to be bad for Roca. That is, the opponent tries a running clothesline, but you move and he crashes into the turnbuckle. You cover him for the pin. That's going to take us to the premature elimination chart for the Battle Royal. And I can tell already that this is going to be slow. And on a roll of 7, the opponent's attempt to eliminate you fizzles out. So that is the end of round 1. Angle and Roca had a little back and forth there. Didn't have any elimination taking place. And now Antonio Inoki is next into the ring. Antonio Inoki numbers up. So we're getting baby faces here at the beginning of the Battle Royal. And for round number 2, the roll will be Kurt Angle attacking Antonio Inoki on level 3 offense. So Roca takes a break. Antonio Inoki hits the ring. And let's see what happens between Rude and Inoki. Angle and Inoki. And it is Angle with the Olympic Slam on Antonio Inoki. He hit a finisher. It is a 0 finisher. So there is no adjustment to the saving throw. Inoki needs a roll of 10 or better on the D20 to stay in the ring. And on a roll of 16, Inoki survives the Olympic Slam, but that does cost him a point of his adjustment. And that brings us to our next entry. Entry number 4, who will be Rick Rude. Rick Rude now coming to ringside. The first heel to enter the contest. So we pull him out of the stack. Rick Rude has an adjustment of 7. So we'll add him to the mix. And when we roll the dice, it will be, Kurt Angle with a 27 attacking Inoki again. So Angle staying on Inoki here. He just hit the finisher and Angle remains on level 3 offense here. And let's see what happens on this roll. Again, he hits another Olympic Slam. Inoki again needs a roll of 3. Antonio Inoki is the first man eliminated from this match on the Olympic Slam by Angle. So Angle gets the first elimination. And here in row 4, we will put Inoki. We'll put Inoki, Angle, Olympic Slam. And so when I do the write-up later, we'll know. So Inoki is out. And we'll take his rolls off the screen so that he will not get confused. And the next man coming into the ring will be, let's see, I need to remove Inoki from the worksheet over here. Yeah, sorry this is taking a minute, but like I said, we are just figuring this out. Inoki is eliminated. Hello, Cleveland baseball fan 879, and welcome to our experimental Royal Rumble. As I mentioned earlier, we're just kind of figuring out the rules for this. And actually, I should take everybody out when they are added to the match. So let's see, Roca is in, Angle is in, Rude is in. I'm doing some work off the screen here. So hopefully this will be entertaining once we get into the flow. But it is taking me a few minutes to get the logistics of this thing down. All right, now we are good to go for our next entrant, who will be Jackie Fargo. Okay, Jackie Fargo next into the ring as Inoki has been eliminated. And Jackie Fargo is coming to the ring with Jimmy Hart, his manager. So we may get to see some managerial shenanigans here when Jackie Fargo hits the ring. And yeah, the room is filling up. Dwayne Martz is here. Kathy Evans is here. Cleveland baseball fan 879. We've already said our hello to him. So next into the ring is Jackie Fargo. So he will go here. And let's see what is going to happen in round 5. It's going to be Rick Rude on the attack now. And oh, we've got a tie for the lowest move. Both Fargo and Angle hit a 14. And that is going to be our double noggin knocker roll. So Angle and Fargo will suffer the double noggin knocker. And what were we going to do there? I think this will be a... how should we handle the double noggin knocker? You will be eliminated if you roll a natural 1. How does that sound? So we'll let Angle and Fargo roll again, and they'll be eliminated on if either of them rolls a natural 1, and they do not. Oh, actually, Angle rolls a natural 1. So Angle is eliminated by Rick Rude after a double noggin knocker. How about that? So Rick Rude eliminates Kurt Angle after a double noggin knocker. So a surprise turn of events there as Angle says goodbye. He got one elimination, and then he got knocked out of the ring by Rick Rude. So out goes Kurt Angle. And now we are going to need another entrant. And our next entrant will be Superstar Billy Graham. Oh my goodness, where's Kevin Butcher when you need him? Kevin Butcher, my buddy from Ohio, is a Superstar Billy Graham fan of the highest magnitude. Graham, one of the favorites in this battle royal, as he has a adjustment rating of 10, which is the third highest. Steve Williams with an 11 and Mark Henry with a 12 are your favorites. Don't forget to add one to Rude's eliminations. Yeah, thank you, Carlzilla, for that. Rude gets an elimination, and those do count as points in the standings. When I calculate the standings for this, the winner of this will get 10 points in the standings and a world title match, and you also get 1 point for each elimination. All right, so the ring we got 4 guys in the ring now. And for this round, it will be Superstar Billy Graham on the attack against Jackie Fargo. Heel-on-heel violence here in Columbus, as there is no love lost. Graham from Patriot Championship Wrestling, one of the most controversial figures in the sport. Jackie Fargo, of course, the leader of the controversial Whatever We Want faction. And Graham is coming right after him with a top rope knee drop, and that's a hurt too. Graham comes back with a full Nelson, still a hurt two. And now Graham with a choice A maneuver, so he can go power 7 or whip to the ropes. Ropes is B, so we'll do the whip to the ropes on the Battle Royal chart and see what happens. The rating is B and the roll is 10. So the defender is double teamed in the corner, add 1 to the defender and reshuffle the wrestlers. So Fargo takes a little bit of a beating from Graham, and we'll say Antonino Roca jumped in on that. So Fargo loses a point, and we continue on to our next entry. Let's see, that was Superstar Billy Graham, so we move him to the entry list, and we go back into the pool for the next entry, who will be Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, next into the ring. Jimmy Hart going nuts at ringside as his man was getting double teamed, and now here comes Shawn Michaels. He is on his own in this match, but he does have Jackie Fargo with him, and they're both heels from Pro Wrestling Mid-America, so there will be the opportunity for an alliance between Shawn Michaels and Jackie Fargo. And Michaels, by virtue of his quickness and his cage rating, a +6. And as we roll the dice again, this time it is Rick Rude on the attack, and he is coming after Antonino Roca. Both these. So Rude and Roca now will be tangling. And it is Rude with, an attempted out of the ring, and that takes us to the premature elimination match chart as Rude attempts to eliminate Roca, and on a roll of 6, the opponent's attempt to eliminate you fizzles out, but he maintains control of the action. And on a roll of 2, he gets another attack on level 3 offense. And this time it is Rude who slaps on the camel clutch. I never saw the logic of a submission hold in the Battle Royal, but Rude has got Roca trapped in the camel clutch, trying to weaken him here. And now he goes for the sleeper. Now he goes for the sleeper. Roca gets a defensive tag roll, but he does not have any allies. So we go back to the premature elimination chart on the, we go to the level 3 chart. And now Rude is going up for the death jump. And it is death jump A. And on the death jump A roll, that is a 5. And that is the Opponent gets there to the turnbuckle first. Antonino Roca has a chance to throw Rick Rude out of the ring. We go to the elimination chart. And the roll is 10. The opponent has you on the verge of elimination. You can avoid this by rolling 6 or lower, plus or minus the opponent's power rating. In this case, that is a 0. So on the 2d6, Rude needs a 6 or lower to avoid elimination, and he does not get it. So Rick Rude makes a mistake there, goes to the top rope, and gets pushed off the top rope by Antonino Roca. So a failed death jump attempt by Rick Rude costs him his opportunity at the Buckeye Bowl. Kind of a bad decision there by Rick Rude. He is out. Roca gets the elimination. And we bring in our next competitor. And our next competitor will be King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy coming to the ring. Bundy, one of the wild card entrants into this match by virtue of his big reputation as a battle royal master, but his slowness and his relatively high cage rating mean that his adjustment is only a 5. And Bundy comes in at number 8. And as our roll picks up here, it is now going to be Antonino Roca being attacked by superstar Billy Graham. Billy Graham coming after Antonino Roca. We've got 5 men in the ring currently as Graham comes after Roca. And Graham is going to go with the out of the ring roll. Out of the ring roll for Graham against Roca. And on a roll of 6, the opponent has you in a tough spot. Roll 1 die. We'll use the red die roll of 6. You battle your way back from certain defeat and let loose a devastating assault. Roll on level 3 offense. So Roca coming back against Billy Graham. And it's Roca with the Argentine backbreaker. That's a +2 finisher. So Graham has got to make the saving roll here of 10 minus 2 for the Argentine backbreaker. So Graham needs a roll of 12 or higher to stay in this match on the D20. And on a roll of 8, superstar Billy Graham has been eliminated. Antonino Roca with his second elimination. As superstar Billy Graham says goodbye. And that's 2 eliminations in a row for Antonino Roca. He is on a roll here. Say goodbye to superstar Billy Graham. My condolences to Kevin Butcher, KB, if you are watching. And we are now ready for another entrant into the Battle Royal. And entry number 8 is going to, or entry number 9 is going to be Big John Studd. Big John Studd now coming to the ring, accompanied by his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. So we've got both Jimmy Hart and Big John Studd, or excuse me, both Jimmy Hart and Bobby the Brain Heenan at ringside now. Studd with an adjustment rating of 7 because he has a very poor agility rating that counterbalances some of his power. But he is coming in with the 7. And let's see what happens here in round 10. We've reached, actually round 9. It is going to be, let's see, we need to get rid of Rick Rude here. And let's roll again. It's going to be Big John Studd on the attack against King Kong Bundy. How about that? The two big guys squaring off here in Columbus in the center of the ring. As we got big man on big man going now. Oops, I deleted. That's what happened. I deleted Jackie Fargo's rolls. But heck, we're going to go with Studd and Bundy anyways, because that's the matchup I want to see. And it is Big John Studd with a double arm suplex. That's a choice H maneuver. And choice H is either the death jump or the agility. He'll go for the agility, so he'll be able to hit the double arm suplex on a roll of 11 or lower. He hits that. And, oh, Bundy hits his pin rating. So we go to the elimination chart. And on a roll of 7, while you and your opponent are struggling with each other, a random wrestler from the stack comes in and makes a surprise attack and may eliminate both of you. And that is going to be Jackie Fargo. There's no love lost among the heels here. Bundy actually wrestling as a babyface, but Jackie Fargo is going to inject himself into this situation. Both you and your opponent must roll 8 or lower, plus or minus the interfering wrestler's power rating, which is a -1, 7 or lower. But these guys are both 400-pounders. So we'll give them both a bonus and say they have to roll 9 or lower on the D12. And Bundy is successful and Studd is successful. So Bundy and Studd survived Jackie Fargo's attempt to interfere in their little set 2. And the beat rolls on to wrestler number 10. And wrestler number 10 will be Wahoo McDaniel. Wahoo McDaniel, one of the surprise entrants coming in, making his first appearance ever in Heartland Championship Wrestling, at least with his official Filsinger card. I may have used a Wahoo bootleg in the past, but this is a stellar moment because I was delighted to get Wahoo with this year's set, and I am delighted to have him as part of the Battle Royal. We've now got 6 men in the ring, and on the initiative roll, it's going to be Shawn Michaels on the attack against King Kong Bundy. I don't know what Michaels is thinking by coming after King Kong Bundy. Maybe he's got a super kick up his sleeve or something with Bundy's name on it. But as Michaels goes on the attack, he is going to go for the choice E maneuver, either a Scorpion Deathlock on agility or a Power Slam on power. Obviously, that's going to be the Scorpion Deathlock on the agility. So he will need 11 or lower to hit that on the 2d6, and he hits it for a level 3 offensive move. And Bundy is hurt. Michaels stays on the attack. Michaels with a attempted a back suplex, and Bundy not going anywhere after that. Michaels follows that up with an attempted a clothesline. That's a power move. That's not going to work. And King Kong Bundy comes back with a whip to the ropes. Michaels is an A-rated performer on the ropes. So we go to the Battle Royal chart, a roll of A9. Both wrestlers try to eliminate each other. Compare the sum of both wrestlers' agility and power ratings. Whoever is better rolls pin. So Bundy a -1, Michaels a -3. Michaels has the better the better rating here. So King Kong Bundy is going to have to make that initiative roll, that saving throw roll. We're still in round 10, so he just needs a 10 or better, and we'll knock off. We'll say he needs a 6 or better because he's a -4 power. So he needs a 6 or better, and he easily laughs off Shawn Michaels' attempt at taking Bundy out of the ring, and the match will continue with our next entry. Looks like we've still got 4 folks in the chat room. I hope you're enjoying this. As I mentioned, I am just making this up as I go along, but hopefully everybody will have a good time with this. And now into the ring comes Tommy Wildfire Rich. Tommy Rich, one of the most popular men in the Heartland, representing Pro Wrestling Mid-America out of Texas. Assuming I can find his card someplace. In my card stack, there he is. Tommy Wildfire Rich with an adjustment rating of 4. Comes into the ring. I take it Carl Zilla is not a fan of Tommy Wildfire Rich. We have now got a total of 7 guys in the ring. And as we do the roll for round number 11, it is King Kong Bundy, the high man, attacking Antonino Roca. So Bundy and Roca, this is a battle of contrasting styles. As Bundy comes at Roca on level 3 offense. And Bundy rolls the big splash. And Roca hits his pin rating, so we go to the elimination chart. And on the elimination chart, the roll of 5, the opponent has you in a tough spot. Roll 1 die. We'll look at the red die rolling of 4. You refuse to be defeated and take to the attack on level 1 offense. So Roca makes a comeback and goes for a diving drop toe hold. Bundy just laughs that off. And it is Bundy coming back with an attempt at a boot to the midsection. That's an agility roll. That's a big fail. And he is going to get stung with some open hand chops for his troubles on that. And Roca follows that up with a handstand head scissor throw. And that's going to hit Bundy's pin rating. And on a roll of 7, while you and your opponent are struggling, a random wrestler from the stack attempts to eliminate both of you. Who's hanging out in the stack here looking to cause trouble? That is going to be Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich going to get involved with Bundy and Roca. Both you and your opponent must roll 8 or lower, plus or minus the interference power rating. So Rich has a power of 0. Roca will need an 8 or lower to prevent being eliminated. Looking at the D6s, Roca stays in the match. Bundy will need a roll of 10 or lower for his power bonus, and he stays in the match. So a little set 2 there involving Tommy Rich, but nothing happens, and we are ready for our next competitor to enter the ring. And our next competitor is going to be Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, and one of the founding members of the faction Justice for All in the Patriot Heavyweight Championship territory, is coming to the ring, much to the delight of the fans here in Columbus. Here comes Bryan Danielson. He will have an ally in the ring. Actually, he doesn't have any allies in the ring at the moment. As Danielson enters the fracas, we're now in the 12th round, so all the saving throws are going to go up to 15 instead of 10 from this point forward. More eliminations likely now that we've got more men in the ring. And I kind of like it this way. We're going through quickly. We're getting almost halfway through our entries. We've had a few eliminations, but we've got enough guys in the ring here to make it interesting. As we go to round number 12. And in round number 12, it is going to be, a double team. Fargo and Stud now teaming up directly on Bundy. And Bundy has to make a saving throw. He needs a roll of 15. -1 for the double team, so he'll need 14 or lower, and he'll get no bonus. Let's see, his the total combined strength ratings. Bundy is a -4, Stud's a -4, and Fargo's a -1. So Bundy's actually going to have to subtract 1, as he is overpowered by this combination. So he needs a 15 or better. Actually, he needs a 16 or better with the +5 adjustment. So he needs 11 or better on the 20 to stay in the match here. And on a roll of 20, he powers his way out of that predicament. So a failed double team attempt by Stud and Fargo teaming up against Bundy. And I'm going to put that in the highlights. Bundy survives. Stud Fargo double team. And that will bring us to our next entrant into the match. And our next entrance into the match is Johnny Valentine. Johnny Valentine accompanied to the ring by James J. Dillon. So we're getting managers all over the place here. As Johnny Valentine and James J. Dillon come down to ringside, and we're getting some scant looks from Jimmy Hart and from Bobby Heenan, as they are joined at ringside by James J. Dillon. These guys are not above professional jealousy. So we'll bring in Johnny Valentine. His adjustment is a 7, so he's has a good chance to do well in this battle royal. And let's see what is going to happen here in round number 13. And it is going to be Big John Studd on the attack against Tommy Rich. 26-on-6 violence here as Studd comes after Tommy Rich. Studd coming in on level 3 offense, and he hits a big body slam on Wildfire. And Tommy gets a down 3, so that is a premature elimination for Tommy Rich. Let's see what happens here on a roll of 7. Oh, this is another outside interference. Or no, excuse me, the opponent's attempt to eliminate you fizzles out, but he maintains control of the action. And on the red D3, a roll of 1 means that he gets to stay on level 3. So Stud's still on the attack here. And now on a roll of 2, that is a double arm suplex choice H. Choice H he can hit on an agility roll, which is not his style, or a death jump roll, which is also not his style. But we'll try the death jump roll just for the heck of it. And on a death jump roll of 6, or no, excuse me, 5. I did recalculate. On a death jump roll of B5, that's going to be Stud having to prevent himself from being knocked off the top rope. He's going to need to make a saving roll here of 15, -4 for his power, so 11 or better will keep him in the match on the D20. And on a roll of 11, he barely maintains his balance as Tommy Rich almost knocked Big John Studd off the top rope. Close call there for Big John Studd. And that will bring us to our next entrant. The next entrant will be Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack coming in as the next entrance. And he has got Kevin Sullivan by his side as Cactus Jack comes in. He is a crazy dude, and I've got some special Cactus Jack stipulations planned here if it comes down to it. As Cactus Jack hits the ring, and in round number 14 we are going to have a double team. Johnny Valentine and Wahoo McDaniel working together to attempt to eliminate Antonino Roca. How about that? Does Roca have any allies here? Roca is allied with Tommy Rich. So Tommy Rich can help him make the save here. On the double team, we go straight to the elimination roll of 20. -1 for the presence of Tommy Rich at ringside, and we'll give him another -2 for agility. So he'll need 17. He'll need 17 or higher to stay in this match after the double team, and he doesn't get it. So Antonino Roca taken out of this match as a result of a double team by Johnny Valentine and Wahoo McDaniel. So say goodbye to Antonino Roca. The number 1 entrant. I've never had a winner of any of my Royal Rumbles that came in much before 25. It's always one of the last few guys that wins this thing, and every year I'm looking for ways to make that a little more unpredictable. But we'll see what the Battle Royal brings this time around. So let's see. Cactus Jack is in. So that leaves us with a pool of 16 guys waiting to enter the fracas. And of that pool of 16, it is going to be Hiro Matsuda. Hiro Matsuda coming into the ring. He is an ally of Wahoo McDaniel. So Hiro Matsuda, another new acquisition for the Heartland Championship Wrestling, one of our wild card entrants, comes into the ring. And another one that I'm very glad to see as part of the Phil Singer collection. So Matsuda is in the ring, and we are ready now for round number 15 with a total of 10 guys in the ring now at this point. And for this round, the attack is going to be Jackie Fargo working on Hiro Matsuda. The new guy is going to get his hazing, and it's going to come from Jackie Fargo. And let's see what happens here between Fargo and Matsuda. On level 3 offense, Fargo gets the out of the ring roll. That's going to be that's going to take us to the elimination chart. And on an elimination chart roll of 10, the opponent has you on the verge of elimination, 6 or lower, plus or minus the power. And Fargo's got a power of -1. Matsuda does have an ally in the ring, so we'll make that a +1. So on the D12, Matsuda needs 6 or better to stay in the match. And he twirls a 9, so Matsuda barely survives the attack by Jackie Fargo with the assistance of Oh no, he needed 6 or lower, and he got 9, so he's out. I did that wrong. So Matsuda comes right into the ring and gets taken right out by Jackie Fargo. That will create a nice little controversy here, as whatever we want does its damage. So yeah, good little storyline created here. No sooner does Hiro Matsuda gets hit the ring than Jackie Fargo dumps him out unceremoniously, and that is already the end of Hiro Matsuda. So we've got a potential for a storyline here. We've got a couple of potential storylines that we have created, and I'm going to highlight those just for the fun of it. With we'll just give those a little bit of a gold highlight. Bundy surviving the double team, Matsuda being taken out by Jackie Fargo. Those are the two good storylines we have so far. And we're halfway into getting our guys into the ring. So how about that? And we have reached the halfway point. I am drinking Mountain Dew like crazy. So I am going to take this opportunity for a very quick potty break, and we'll get back to it. So chat amongst yourselves, and we'll get going again here shortly. All right, we are back, and it is good news here in the Dave Cave. My voice is holding up, and my bladder is surviving. Our Red Sox fan is in the chat, so life just keeps getting better and better. So next into the ring, we have our next entry, who is going to be Terry Gordy. Terry Gordy, another one of the favorites in this match. Gordy coming to us from the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, where he has actually been working as a babyface, believe it or not. He is coming into the ring and ready to make his mark on this Buckeye Bowl, aka Royal Rumble matchup. Gordy with a +8 on his adjustment. And as we go to round 16 of the Battle Royal, it's going to be Gordy on the attack. He comes right to the ring. He rolls a 28, and he is coming after King Kong Bundy. Another battle of the big men. Terry Gordy and King Kong Bundy fixing to square off. With Gordy on the attack. Let's see, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eliminations. I've got wrestling cards all over my desk here in various places. But Gordy coming after Bundy. And let's see what he can do. And Gordy gets the STF going right away. And Bundy is hurt. Gordy comes back after that with a whip to the turnbuckle. Bundy a turnbuckle A. So we go to the Battle Royal chart and look at the 2D12, the 2D6, which is a roll of 9. Both wrestlers try to eliminate each other. Compare the sum of both wrestlers' agility and power ratings. Whoever is highest rolls the pin. Bundy with only a -1 because he's so slow. Gordy with a -3. So that's a 2-point bonus for Gordy. And Bundy, and we're in round 16, so Bundy is going to need to hit a target of 15 plus the, we'll make it a +1 since Bundy does have the power advantage. So Gordy's going to need a 16 or higher on the D20 to stay in this match. And Gordy takes out King Kong Bundy. So goodbye, Bundy. Thanks to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Gordy making his mark on this match in a big way. So Bundy thrown out by Gordy. And that could be another interesting storyline moving forward. So we'll give that a little highlight here as well. All right, so say goodbye to King Kong Bundy in this match, much to the chagrin of everybody except I think Carl Zilla, I think he expressed his disdain for Bundy. Into the ring now at entry number 17, it will be Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter coming to ringside, one of the most popular men in the Heartland. And a longtime North American heavyweight champion coming from the Patriot Heavyweight Wrestling Federation. So Sergeant Slaughter enters the ring. And as we roll for round 17, let's see what happens here. It's going to be, it is going to be, a double noggin knocker attack as Johnny Valentine jumps on both Cactus Jack and Jackie Fargo. And that's going to create some tension here between James J. Dillon and Jimmy Hart at ringside. 27-6 is a huge difference in the in the ring rolls. So we'll look at the combined power of these three men. Cactus, let's see. Johnny Valentine is on the attack. He has a power of -2. Cactus Jack is a -1, and Jackie Fargo is also a -1. So the power rolls are even here. And so this is not really an elimination type situation. So we'll say that each of the defenders needs a D20 roll of 14 or better to escape the double noggin knocker. Cactus Jack gets a 10. Johnny Valentine gets a 1. So they're both going to take a point of damage from the double noggin knocker. That's how we will resolve that. And on the re-roll, the lower, and they both tie on the re-roll. So there will be no elimination there. Just a double noggin knocker applied by Johnny Valentine. Good move there by Valentine. We're ready for our next entry. 13 men to go. And next in the ring will be the favorite in this match, Dr. Death Steve Williams. This guy has the best adjustment of any of the guys because of his athleticism. Actually, no, he's the second best. Mark Henry is the best, and Mark Henry is still waiting in the wings. So Steve Williams comes in with an adjustment rating of 11. And as we roll for round 18 is going, oh, look at that. Dr. Death with a natural 20 and a 31. He is going to go on the attack against Jackie Fargo. And this is a huge attack. Fargo, of course, with Jimmy Hart assisting him. So we'll see what Steve Williams can get done here. And it is Williams with a belly-to-belly suplex, and Jackie Fargo hits his pin rating. How about that? That's going to take us to the elimination charts. And on the elimination chart, the roll is 3. The opponent tries to send you over the top rope, but you turn the tables on him, and now he's in danger of being eliminated. So Jackie Fargo is able to turn the tables on Dr. Death Steve Williams. Steve Williams now has to make a saving roll of 15 minus 4 is 11 or better to stay in the match. And oh, just like that, Steve Williams is taken out of the match by Jackie Fargo. Another surprise is Steve Williams gets flipped out of the ring by Jackie Fargo. And let's see, that's going to be... We haven't been keeping track of our initiative, of our eliminations. So that's 2 eliminations now for Jackie Fargo. 1 for Terry Gordy. And 1 for the combination of Wahoo and Valentine. We'll give each of them a point for that. 1 for Wahoo, 1 for Valentine. And just like that, Steve Williams is out of the Buckeye Bowl. One of the favorites eliminated. And that is definitely cause for a storyline to be incorporated later. So say goodbye to Steve Dr. Death Williams, one of the favorites in this battle royal. Out of it as soon as he is into it. On a good move by Jackie Fargo. We now have 12 entries remaining. And next in line is going to be George Tragos. George Tragos, a popular competitor out of the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, and working his way up the contenders list. A former Dixie heavyweight champion, but not the type of heavyweight performer you would expect to do well in a battle royal situation. So as Tragos comes to the ring, in fact, he is only a +2, and that is tied for the lowest of all of the entries. And now we are ready for round number 19. And in round number 19, it is going to be, the high roll is Big John Studd, and he's coming after Bryan Danielson. My goodness, this is Bobby Heenan versus Justice for All going down here in this situation. And there may be a surprise here for Big John Studd, but we don't know that yet. As Studd comes after Bryan Danielson. And oh, it is Studd going right to the backbreaker, a +3 finisher. And Danielson taken completely off guard by that. He's going to have to roll a saving throw of 15 minus 3 for the backbreaker, makes it a 12. But now we're going to have Wahoo McDaniel coming to the assistance of Bryan Danielson, and that is the surprise, as that is going to make the roll a, instead of a 12, a 13 or better will keep Danielson in the match on the D20. And on a roll of 17, it is Danielson able to stay in the match with the assistance of Chief Wahoo McDaniel. So Danielson survives Studd with help from Wahoo. And that will also be a storyline moving forward, because Wahoo McDaniel is coming to the Atlantic Wrestling Federation, and he is going to be the founding father of the AWF version of Justice for All, and he's going to call his faction Old School Justice. So Old School Justice prevents Big John Studd from throwing Bryan Danielson over the top rope. Good good opportunity there for a good storyline. So yeah, we've got a few good storylines brewing from this, which is one of the cool things about having the Buckeye Bowl at the beginning of the year. So Tragos now in the ring. We are down to 11 men waiting in the wings. And our next entry in the Royal Rumble will be Bad News Allen, another newcomer to the Heartland. Bad News Allen, a.k.a. Bad News Brown, from his WWF days, back when Bad News Allen was around. Bad News Allen was really a underrated and underappreciated competitor. He was an Olympic judo performer, very accomplished combat athlete, had a great persona, I thought, and a real nice run as a heel. Didn't he win the Royal Rumble one year, or was involved in an angle with Bret Hart very late in a Royal Rumble? So yeah, I am excited to see what Bad News Allen, Bad News Brown, as he is known, can do in in this Battle Royal. Bad News Brown was awesome, says Carl Zilla. Okay, we are ready for round 20. And now all of the saving throws go up to a total of 20. And as we hit round 20, it is Johnny Valentine on the attack against Tommy Rich. So Johnny Valentine coming after Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich has no allies in the ring at the moment. And of course, Johnny Valentine has James J. Dillon advising him. So this could be trouble for Tommy Rich. As we go to the calculations, and Johnny Valentine hits the Atomic Skull Crusher. That's a +1 finisher. Tommy Rich now needs a elimination roll. It's now a 20. And how are we going to do this? He needs a total of 21, and I think we're going to use his adjustment. So 21 minus 4 is 17 that he will need. +1 for the manager. He'll need an 18 or better to survive the Atomic Skull Crusher, and he is out. So Tommy Rich is taken out by Johnny Valentine. So say goodbye to Tommy Rich. As we take him out of the stack. And we prepare to bring on competitor number 21. Entry number 21 coming in next. And that is going to be Adrian Adonis. Adrian Adonis coming to the ring. Adonis representing the heels of the AWF, so he's got Big John Studd watching his back. He's also got Cactus Jack watching his back. So the guys from AWF, the heels, can do some damage here, as they are now adding Adrian Adonis to their numbers. And now we have the high roll here is Bad News Allen with a 21 coming after Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels lurking around, making a twerp of himself, as he is known to do. And Bad News Allen doesn't suffer twerps, so he is coming after Shawn Michaels. And he is going to go for an elbow drop to the throat. That is a choice G maneuver. So he can use power or he can use his death jump. He's going to use his power, where he has a 3-point advantage. So that is a power of 9 or lower. He'll hit this on the D3s, and he hits that. And it is Michael's. Oh, Michael's hit his pin roll. So that is the premature elimination chart. Or no, that's the elimination chart. And we'll see what the elimination chart brings on a roll of 5. The opponent has you in a tough spot. Roll 1 die on a roll of 3. You remain in the match, but the opponent maintains control at level 1 offense. So Bad News Allen still on the attack. He goes for the headlock takeover. And Michaels is going to look for allies. He's got Jackie Fargo watching his back. And actually, Bad News Brown is also a heel from PWMA. So we'll put a stop to that as Fargo convinces Bad News Allen not to attack Shawn Michaels just because he's a putz. He's one of our guys, and so Shawn Michaels lives to fight another day, thanks to the intervention of Jackie Fargo. And now we are ready for entry number 22. Entry number 22 will be Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase, a former world heavyweight champion. He has got Meng by his side as he comes to the ring. So DiBiase is, again, not one of the favored performers given his relative lack of size. But he is always a threat to win in any situation. And as we head into round 22, it is going to be a double team. Sergeant Slaughter and Adrian Adonis working on Johnny Valentine. Wow, how did Sergeant Slaughter convince Adrian Adonis to come to his aid? I don't know. But Slaughter and Valentine have been in some battles here as of late. So this is no big surprise. Johnny Valentine is going to need... Let's see, we're going to compare the power ratings. Johnny Valentine has a power... Let's see, Slaughter's a -3. Valentine is a -2. Adonis is a 0. So Slaughter has a 1-point advantage in the power. Johnny Valentine is accompanied by his manager, so that makes it a 0. So Valentine needs a 20 -7. He needs a 13 or better to survive the onslaught from Sergeant Slaughter. And on a roll of 17, Valentine is able to survive with the assistance of his manager, James J. Dillon. So we'll say Valentine survives Slaughter, and their feud will continue. And that will take us to our next entry. As we put DiBiase to the side. And there are now 8 men remaining in the pool to enter the ring. Intense cheering as Rich makes the walk of shame. As Carl Zilla, our resident wrestling historian, informs us, Bad News Allen won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania 3, and I think he hit that enziguri on Bret Hart, caught Bret Hart on the back of the head with an enziguri to eliminate Hart to win that match, if I recall correctly. So we're down to the final 8 competitors here. And it is going to be Eric the Red coming to the ring. Eric the Red, another of our surprise entrants from Expansion Pack 10, somebody I haven't had the chance to use in any of my feds yet. So Eric the Red coming in here. And let's see what will happen in round number 23. And in round number 23, it is going to be Big John Studd on the attack against George Tragos. My, what a mismatch this is. As Studd, being cheered on by Bobby the Brain Heenan, is going to try and take out George Tragos. And let's see what happens here with Studd on the attack. And he goes right to the out of the ring roll. So that is going to take us to the premature elimination chart. Or no, to the elimination chart. And on a roll of 8, the opponent is about to take you out of the match. You can avoid this by rolling 7 or lower, plus or minus the opponent's power rating, which is -4. So on the D12, on the 2D6, George Tragos needs a roll of 2 or 3 to survive, and on a roll of 4, he is taken out. So Tragos is pitched by Big John Studd. And say goodbye to George Tragos. Add an elimination to Big John Studd. And prepare the way for our next competitor. 7 men left in the pool, including the overall favorite, who will be next to join the fray here. It's going to be Ed Strangler Lewis. Ed Strangler Lewis coming into the match now at number 24. Strangler, a dangerous competitor by virtue of his great wrestling skill. His triple finisher on the Strangler headlock is a very dangerous weapon, even in a battle royal match situation like this. Now, as we go to round 24, what's going to happen here? It is going to be Sergeant Slaughter on the attack against both Fargo and Valentine. So again, we've got the double noggin knocker roll here. Valentine with a -2 in power, Fargo with a -1, and that is equivalent to Sarge's -3. So they'll both need to make a roll of 20 or lower. Fargo will need 16 or lower, and he survives the double noggin knocker. How about Johnny Valentine? He'll need 13 or better. And they both survive the double noggin knocker from Sergeant Slaughter. As the battle between Valentine and Sarge continues, and this time we'll say Valentine survives Sarge with help from Fargo. So again, another good storyline on tap here. And we're ready for entry number 25. Who will be number 25 in this battle royal? And it will be Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff coming in at 25. Orndorff, a powerful man, good athlete. The Brandon Bull from Brandon, Florida. As the ring is filling up with some beef now, and the roll here on round number 25 is going to see, wow, 28, Sergeant Slaughter again, and he's coming after Paul Orndorff this time. Sarge going right after Paul Orndorff. Let's see what's going to happen here. And it is Sarge with an atomic drop. and Orndorff is hurt. Sarge follows that up with a vertical suplex. Orndorff still hurt. And Sarge with a catapult into the turnbuckle. And Orndorff is down, and that's going to mean a premature elimination roll of 9. The opponent tries to suplex you out of the ring. You can avoid elimination by rolling 9 or lower, plus or minus the agility rating. So on the D6, Orndorff will be eliminated if this is an 11 or a 12. And oh, he's eliminated. How about that? Orndorff is quickly in and out of the ring as Sergeant Slaughter takes care of business there. So say goodbye to Paul Orndorff and give another elimination to Sergeant Slaughter. That is his first of the match. As Sergeant Slaughter gets the cheers of the fans here in Columbus after that quick elimination of Paul Orndorff. We're down to the final 5 entrants. Who will be entry number 26? It is Mark Henry. Mark Henry coming in at 26. He is the favorite in this matchup with a total adjustment rating of plus 12. He will be a tough elimination here. As he faces off with some stiff competition. But the much anticipated entry of Mark Henry. And now as we look at round number 26, it is going to be Adrian Adonis getting the attack against Eric the Red. Adrian Adonis attacking Eric the Red on level 3 offense. And it's Adonis going right to the Goodnight Irene. Adonis has the finisher on Eric the Red. He's going to need a roll of 20. It's a 0 finisher. Eric the Red only has a 2 adjustment, so he's going to need 18 or better to survive Goodnight Irene. And it's Goodnight Eric the Red. As Eric the Red gets turned red and gets his lights put out by Adrian Adonis. And that is the first elimination for Adrian Adonis. And we are down to the final 4 men entering the Battle Royal. Who will be the next man up? It will be Danny Hodge. Danny Hodge, another of the wild card entrants into the ring. He was the winner of the 2011 Buckeye Bowl to earn his opportunity to come back and repeat that feat a number of years later. Danny Hodge, a light heavyweight, but widely regarded as one of the toughest men ever to compete in the sport of professional wrestling out of Perry, Oklahoma. And as we head into round 27, it will be Wahoo McDaniel now on the attack against Ted DiBiase. Wahoo McDaniel coming after DiBiase. DiBiase, of course, has Meng at ringside. Wahoo has Brian Danielson watching his back as part of the Justice for All Alliance. And here we go. It is Wahoo with the sleeper, which is a choice E maneuver. He can either hit an agility of 9 or a power of 9. DiBiase 0-0, so the sleeper hold will be successful on a roll of 9 or lower on the D12, and he gets that to work. And DiBiase hits his pin rating, so we go to the elimination chart. Can Wahoo eliminate DiBiase? On a roll of 9, the opponent tries to drop kick you out of the ring. You can avoid this by rolling 7 or lower, plus or minus the opponent's agility rating, which is a +1. So 8 or lower on the D12 will keep, on the 2D6 will keep DiBiase in the match. And on a roll of 9, he's going to be eliminated, but he is going to be saved by Meng. So DiBiase saved by Meng. After the attack by Wahoo McDaniel. 3 men remain. Who will be next? It will be Kevin Steen coming to the ring next. Kevin Steen, another very polarizing and popular figure here in the Heartland, comes in at entry number 28. And for round number 28, it is going to be Ed Strangler Lewis on the attack. And he is going to be coming after, let's see, I didn't take Eric the Red out of there. So he'll be coming after Jackie Fargo. How about that? Strangler Lewis coming after Jackie Fargo. And as Strangler Lewis comes on the attack, he immediately gets the headlock. Strangler Lewis gets the finish. Jackie Fargo is going to have to roll a 15 to stay in this match. And he is not able to get it done, but we're going to have an interference from Jimmy Hart here before the elimination. And on the 2D12, Hart rolls 7. Hart jumps up on the ring apron and distracts the referee while the megaphone falls into the ring. So somebody is going to get their hands on this megaphone. It could be anybody in the match. We'll do another roll to see who gets their hands on the megaphone. And this time we'll just use the straight roll out of column E, as it is Shawn Michaels who gets his hands on the megaphone. Shawn Michaels picks up the megaphone, and he is going to try and crack Strangler Lewis with the megaphone. That's going to be an odd even roll. On the even roll, Shawn Michaels will be successful in making the pin save. We'll use the red D6. And on an odd roll, it is Shawn Michaels who fails to get the job done. Shawn Michaels tried to save Jackie Fargo, but it was Michaels accidentally hitting Jackie Fargo with the megaphone, allowing Ed Strangler Lewis to dump Fargo out of the ring. So Jackie Fargo has been eliminated. And that is going to be a big story. What's going to happen between Shawn Michaels and the members of Whatever We Want after Michaels tried to save Jackie Fargo, but actually ended up hitting Fargo with the megaphone. And Fargo goes bye-bye. And they're going to credit that elimination to Strangler Lewis. So say goodbye to Jackie Fargo. As D. Scott Howard joins us in the ring. There are only 2 men left to enter. And the next entry is going to be Dan Severn, the Beast. Dan the Beast Severn, another wild card entrant into this match. And that means Bobo Brazil got number 30. But let's see what happens in round 29. And yeah, definitely put a storyline on the Fargo and Michaels situation. As Dan Severn comes into the ring for round 29, and in round 29, it is going to be Mark Henry on the attack against Ted DiBiase. Who doesn't hate Ted DiBiase? And who doesn't love Mark Henry? Mark Henry, great guy. I met Mark Henry in person at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony a couple years ago in Waterloo, Iowa. And a friendlier fellow you will not find. And just as down to earth as a fella can be. Let's see what Henry can do here against Ted DiBiase under the watchful eye of Meng. Henry has Sergeant Slaughter and Brian Danielson as allies. And it is Henry who goes right to the second rope splash, a choice G maneuver, so he can try a power roll of 8 or a death jump. He'll definitely try the power roll of 8. And DiBiase is able to reverse his way out of that. And it is DiBiase who comes back with a swinging neck breaker that dumps Mark Henry onto the canvas. DiBiase follows that up with a gut wrench suplex. And Mark Henry is down and looking at a premature elimination here on a roll of 7. The opponent's attempt to eliminate you fizzles out, but he maintains control of the action. But that is only going to be on level 1, so we'll call that a fail, as DiBiase and Mark Henry battle to a draw, and that is going to bring Bobo Brazil into the ring as competitor number 30. Everybody now is in the ring. And that means the target for all saving throws is now a 20. Plus your adjustments. And let's see what is going to happen here in round number 30. The high roll belongs to Mark Henry, and he is coming after the low roll, which is Ted DiBiase. It's still Henry on DiBiase on level 3. And this time it is Henry with the out of the ring roll, which means we go to the elimination chart. And on the elimination chart, the D12 roll is a 10. The opponent has you on the verge of elimination. You can avoid this by rolling 6 or lower, plus or minus the opponent's power rating, which in this case is a -5. So DiBiase needs a 1 on the D12 roll. And we'll say Meng is there to give him the assist, so only on Snake Eyes is DiBiase going to survive Mark Henry. And Mark Henry throws DiBiase up over the ring, over the top rope, out of the ring, and into row number 52 as Mark Henry sends Ted DiBiase on his way. Okay, so we are going to move these guys over to row H. And we're going to use row G now for everything that happens in the match now that all the competitors have hit the ring. We have got 17 men in the ring, which is more than I had hoped. So we'll have to speed this up a bit. And now we're going to go to the regular Royal Rumble rules and get rid of the elimination charts. So if you get hit with a finisher, you got to roll your save. If you get out of the ring, you got to roll your save. It's going to be all that. And we'll see what happens from here. So round 31 is going to be, max is 29. That is Bobo Brazil coming after a minimum of 10, which is Severin. Bobo Brazil taking on Dan Severin. On level 3 offense, and Severin and Bobo immediately goes to the out of the ring roll. So Severin's going to need to catch a 20. His bonus is 7, so he'll need 13. Mark Henry with a -5 with a minus, or Bobo Brazil with a -5 power. So Severin will need 16 or better to stay in the match. And on a roll of 16, he manages to survive. Severn survives the challenge of Bobo Brazil. We go to another round, and it is going to be Ed Strangler Lewis on the attack against Adrian Adonis. Strangler versus Adrian. And it's Strangler going to a choice E, a bear hug power bomb. He can complete that on a roll of 8 or lower on the D12s, and he is unable to do so. Adonis with the reversal. Adonis with a knee lift. Adonis follows that up with an attempt at a flying head scissors that he can achieve on a roll of 6 or lower. He is unable to get that. And so we're going to call that a fizzle and go on to our next confrontation. Our next confrontation is going to be Mark Henry back on the offensive against Adrian Adonis. So Adonis survives Ted DiBiase, and now he's got Mark Henry to deal with. And on a roll of 5, it is Mark Henry with a bear hug. Adonis not liking that. Mark Henry follows that up with a big headbutt. Adonis is going to fire back with a series of windmill forearms. And Henry reverses that right away into a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Adrian Adonis. His ropes rating is a C. And on a roll of 6, both wrestlers try to eliminate each other. Compare the sum of their power and agility ratings. That favors Mark Henry with a +2. So Adonis is going to need a 22 to survive this. -3 on the adjustment. He'll need 19 to survive this. And on a roll of 18, Mark Henry has eliminated Adrian Adonis. So we'll take Adrian Adonis out of the fray and remove his dice rolls and give the elimination to Mark Henry. Moving on to our next round. It is now number 24, Cactus Jack, who is on the offensive. And Cactus Jack will be coming after Shawn Michaels. What a history there is here, as Dude Love comes after the boy toy. Cactus Jack coming after Shawn Michaels. We do have Kevin Sullivan at ringside to lend a hand. Michaels has no friends now since he accidentally knocked out Jackie Fargo. And it is Cactus Jack with the out of the ring roll. And so that is going to require Shawn Michaels to make the save. The save is 20. -6 is 14. Cactus Jack with a power of -1. Shawn Michaels needs a 15 to survive, and he has been eliminated by Cactus Jack. So Michaels is out. And give Cactus Jack the elimination. Just curious how you guys in the room are liking this this format. I'm making this up as I go along. I know we've got a lot of guys who have been in the chat for a while. We've been at it for an hour and a half, which is maybe longer than I would have hoped. But so give me your feedback on the in the chat and tell me how you like this. It may be a little too complicated. Oh, and now we've got 3 guys with a 28, Sergeant Slaughter, Mark Henry, and Bobo Brazil, all fixing to team up on poor Danny Hodge. I don't know what Danny Hodge did to deserve a 3-on-1, but he is going to need a roll of 23 -4. Danny Hodge with a 19 can survive this, and he does not. Danny Hodge triple teamed out of the ring by Sergeant Slaughter, Mark Henry, and who was the other 28 there? Bobo Brazil. And Danny Hodge just saying, why me? What did I do to deserve that? Okay, we move on to the next round. We now have 14 guys left in the ring. And next up will be Wahoo McDaniel on the attack against Big John Studd. This should be a good one. Wahoo against Studd. Wahoo's got Brian Danielson watching his back. Big John Studd with Bobby the Brain Heenan at ringside. Let's see, we got to get rid of Danny Hodge. Take him out of the fray. Eric the Red is out. And it is Wahoo McDaniel coming after Big John Studd. Yeah, big battle coming up here. As Wahoo McDaniel is on the attack, and with a roll of 1, he goes for the sleeper. That is a choice E maneuver, and that's an agility move, so he'll need anything but snake eyes, anything but doubles to hit that. Wahoo's got Big John Studd in the sleeper. And Studd is staggered, but he survives. Wahoo follows that up with a big chop to the chest. Oh, he lit up Big John Studd with that big chop to the chest. Studd hits a pin roll. The pin roll here is going to be 20. Minus the 7 for Studd, so he needs 13 or better to survive. Both men are assisted, so there's no other alterations here. And on an 18, Big John Studd survives. And survives in a big way as Bobby the Brain Heenan looks on in dismay. So we'll just put in here, Studd survives Wahoo. And let's see what's going to happen next. Now it is on the attack, a double team. Mark Henry and Big John Studd are double teaming now, joining forces against Brian Danielson. Wait, what? Is Mark Henry going to have a heel turn here, or is Danielson just in the wrong place at the wrong time? This is looking bad for Brian Danielson. He does have Wahoo watching his back. But Danielson is going to be eliminated on a roll of, let's see, the base roll is 20. The adjustment is 5. But he's also got, we'll put Mark Henry's strength of minus 5 against the combined strength of Studd, which is minus 4. Oh no, actually it's Studd and Mark Henry teaming up. So Bobby the Brain Heenan has convinced Mark Henry to team up on Brian Danielson. What a turn of events we have here. Wahoo is the only assistance, and he's a minus 2 power. So that's a minus 7 power advantage. So Danielson's going to need a natural 20 to survive, and he doesn't get it. So in a shocking turn of events, Danielson is pitched out by Big John Studd and Mark Henry, and we have just seen a heel turn by Mark Henry that has shocked the crowd here in Columbus. How about that? Brian Danielson, one of the leaders of the Justice for All movement, betrayed, I tell you, by Mark Henry. And Henry gets an elimination point, and so does Big John Studd. But give the assist to Bobby Heenan on that one. Squashed like a bug on a windshield. Says Mark Ferguson in the chat. So say goodbye to Brian Danielson. Danielson is eliminated. I believe Shawn Michaels was, let's see, Roka's out. I got a big stack of guys here that I need to sort through. Gordy is still in. Valentine is still in. Shawn Michaels is out. Cactus Jack is still in. Adonis is out. Dan Severin is still in. Strangler Lewis is still in. Bobo is still in. DiBiase is out. And Kevin Steen is still in. All right, so the big headline is the heel turn of Mark Henry, and that is going to be major headlines. Put a star by that one in your playbook, as they used to say in the baseball days. All right, we are now down to 13 men in the Battle Royal. And it is going to be Big John Studd riding that momentum on the attack, and he's going to go at it now with Cactus Jack. I think Cactus Jack just saw what happened and decided he wanted a piece of Big John Studd. He's crazy enough to try and pull something like that off. Let's see what's going to happen here. It is Big John Studd with a rear chin lock. Big John Studd follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle. Cactus Jack, an A-rated turnbuckle performer. And on a roll of 6, it is Cactus Jack blocking the attempt and turning the tables on Big John Studd. And on a roll of 8, it is both wrestlers now trying to eliminate each other. Studd's composite is a +1. Cactus Jack's is a -1. Cactus Jack's composite is a 0. So Cactus Jack will need a 20. 21 for the adjustment, -4, 17. Cactus Jack will need a 17 to survive this. Kevin Sullivan at ringside will make that a 16. And Big John Studd has eliminated Cactus Jack. So Cactus Jack, perhaps his eyes were too big were definitely bigger than his stomach in that situation. And we are down to 12 men remaining in the Battle Royal. And it is going to be Mark Henry on the attack now against Dan Severn. Mark Henry attacking Dan Severn. Yeah, I'm liking how this is going now that we've got all the guys in the ring. I thought it was really slow to begin with, but Mark Henry comes with a second rope splash. That is a choice G maneuver. He can hit that on a power roll of 6 or a death jump C. He'll go for the death jump C. And on a roll of 9, it is a double team in the corner as Severn is double teamed by Mark Henry and of course Big John Studd. And that is going to cost Severn a point of his endurance. So he goes down to a 6. Another round coming up as Big John Studd and Mark Henry have taken over the proceedings here in this Battle Royal, and that is a desperate situation indeed. Now we've got Mark Henry on the attack against Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen, a very popular competitor, leading the fight against Whatever We Want, that faction. But he is now drawn the ire of Mark Henry. And oh, Mark Henry hits the world's strongest slam on Kevin Steen. That is a +3 finisher. So the target for Steen is 23. His adjustment is 8, so he'll need a 15 to survive that. And on a 16, he does manage to survive. How about that? Steen survives the world's strongest slam. Put an asterisk by that one in your playbook. But that is going to take a point off of the endurance of Kevin Steen. On we go to the next round. Mark Henry with a 32 still on the attack. And this time it is Dan Severn he's got his sights set on. So Henry levels Kevin Steen with the world's strongest slam. He sets his eyes on Dan Severn. And again, a second rope straddle for Mark Henry. And Severn is actually going to get the reversal here. Severn tries for a waistlock takedown. Henry's not having any of that. And Henry just with a powerful shove that takes Severn backwards. And now Henry rams Severn back first into the turnbuckle. Severn fighting back with a belly-to-belly throw. That's going to take us to the elimination chart as he hit Mark Henry's pin roll. So the pin roll is 20. The adjustment is 12. So we need an 8 or higher for Henry to stay in this match. The assistance from Big John Studd will make that 7 or higher. And on a roll of 17, Henry easily survives the counterattack from Dan Severn. We go to the next round. And once again, it is Henry on the attack. And it is Henry now coming after Ed Strangler Lewis. Henry on a rampage. Couldn't get Severn out of the match, but he's got Ed Strangler Lewis out of the match. And I'm thinking about a new rule for natural 20s. If you roll a natural 20 on your attack roll, we're going to call that a finisher. So Mark Henry has just hit Ed Lewis with his World's Strongest Slam. That is a +3, so the target is 23. The adjustment is 8, so he'll need 15 or better to survive that here. And on a roll of 5, say goodbye to Ed Strangler Lewis. As Lewis falls prey, and Mark Henry is on a rampage here. He is tearing it up here in Columbus. And note to self about the natural 20. We'll add that to the rule book for next year's Battle Royal. So let's see, we just said goodbye to Strangler Lewis. That leaves us with 11 men in the ring. And the next confrontation will be Big John Studd. Number 25 in your playbook, number 1 in your heart. And his, he's going to go for the double noggin knocker against Wahoo and Slaughter. This could be interesting. Studd taking on Wahoo and Slaughter. Studd with a -4 power, Slaughter -3, Wahoo -2. So Big John Studd is going to be at a disadvantage here, trying to hit the double noggin knocker. This is not for an elimination, but it is for an offensive move. So Big John Studd is going to need a total of 21 to hit the double noggin knocker. With his adjustment of 7, he'll need a 14 here to successfully hit the double noggin knocker. And he got the double noggin knocker on Slaughter and Wahoo. That is not an elimination. But now he does have the chance to eliminate these guys with a running double clothesline. Can he take out 2 men at once? The power here is a -5, so they'll need 15 to survive. Will Sergeant Slaughter survive? Yes. Actually, no. Will Wahoo survive? Does he have help? He's got no help. Danielson's out, and Hiro Matsuda is out. So Big John Studd has just taken out both Wahoo McDaniel and Sergeant Slaughter with a massive double clothesline. What a move that is going to be. I'm not sure I did that right, but what the heck. Like I said, we're making this up as we go along, and we've been at this for almost 2 hours, so let's roll with it. We are coming down the wire here. Wahoo is out. Sergeant Slaughter is out. Big John Studd just got 2 more eliminations. And we are down to the final 9 men in this battle royal. Next up, it is going to be Terry Gordy on the attack against Johnny Valentine. Gordy versus Valentine. What's going to happen here? It's Gordy with a choice C maneuver. He'll go the moonsault agility roll on 7 or lower. He misses it. Valentine fires back with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Terry Gordy, and on a roll of 6, it is a roll on the appropriate chart situation. And so on a roll of 9, B9 on the ropes rating, I believe, is the power roll. So that puts Gordy back in charge. And Gordy hits a big lariat. And that's going to be a chance to eliminate Johnny Valentine. The pin save here is he'll need a target of 13, actually a target of 12 with the assistance of James J. Dillon at ringside. And he survives the clothesline from Terry Gordy, and the match will continue. The next battle will be Bobo Brazil coming after Dan Severn. Bobo Brazil trying to make some noise here in this Royal Rumble, taking on Dan Severn. And it is Bobo with a grinding hammerlock of choice G maneuver. He'll try the death jump option on that. And on a roll of 8, the defender is double teamed in the corner. That's going to cost Severn a point of fatigue, but he survives again. Severn been on the receiving end of a couple of those double teams as we go for the next round. And in the next round, it is Terry Gordy again in charge with his roll of 28 coming after Dan Severn. So Severn part of that double team against Terry Gordy, and Gordy coming with the STF. Severn surviving that. Elbow hammer by Gordy. Severn with a reversal goes for the elbow smash, but Gordy has the better agility. Gordy survives the elbow smash and comes back with a back suplex. Severn rolls down. So Gordy with a STF. Gordy follows that up with a whip to the turnbuckle, and off the turnbuckle comes Dan Severn. And on a roll of 3, it is a sloppy clothesline attempt by Terry Gordy. He's going to be eliminated here on a roll of 12 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Terry Gordy has been eliminated. Taken out by Dan Severn after a sloppy clothesline fired and missed. Give Severn his first elimination as Gordy is taken out by Dan Severn. How about that? All right, and now we are down to the final 8. It's the quarterfinals. And the top roll this time is Mark Henry. Who is he coming after? He is coming after Kevin Steen. Henry coming after Kevin Steen again, as Kevin Steen very unhappy with Mark Henry for aligning himself with one James J. with one Bobby Heenan. And Henry with a big... And Henry immediately goes for the attempted out of the ring. Can Henry throw Steen out of the ring? The target roll is 20 minus 7 is 13, plus 1 for the presence of an ally. So Steen needs a 14 to survive. And Steen survives again. Steen survives Mark Henry again. Wow, Steen is putting up a good fight here against the world's strongest man. And so put a Definitely put a storyline on that one, this brewing rivalry between Kevin Steen and Mark Henry. And now as we go to another round, it is going to be Johnny Valentine, the low man, as he is going to face the attack of Kevin Steen. So Steen now setting his sights on Johnny Valentine, much to the chagrin of James J. Dillon. And Neil Lau is here. How is this being run? I'm just making this up as I go along. But I'm using basically a variation of the squared circle methodology that was published by S.T. Patrick, my good friend. And Steen is now coming after Johnny Valentine, and Steen hits a powerbomb onto the ring apron. And as we all know, the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. That's an add 1, so that's already going to cost Johnny Valentine a point. And Johnny Valentine is down, and Steen is coming after him. And now it is Steen with a sleeper hold suplex, followed by a bite to the face. Steen biting the face of Johnny Valentine. Valentine comes back with a whip to the ropes. Steen, on a roll of 2. It is Steen who ducks a sloppy clothesline, and he's going to have the chance to eliminate Johnny Valentine. Johnny Valentine can be eliminated on a roll of 14. He's got help, so that'll make it a roll of 13. So Valentine needs a 13 or higher, and he survives Kevin Steen. Johnny Valentine survived that sloppy clothesline, that same move that took Terry Gordy out of the match moments ago. And we go for another confrontation here. Kevin Steen acquitting himself nicely in this battle royal. And now it is Johnny Valentine on the attack against Dan Severn. Severn has shown some survivability in this match. And this time it is Johnny Valentine with the Atomic Skull Crusher. He hit it on Severn. That's a +1 finisher. So that means that Severn needs 16 or better on the D20 to survive, and Severn is out. Johnny Valentine eliminates Dan Severn with the Atomic Skull Crusher. So say goodbye to Dan Severn, and then there were 7. All right, for our next confrontation, Mark Henry is the high man, and the low man is Big John Studd. Will these two be faced to square off? They're staring each other down. What will Mark Henry do here? He wants to win this battle royal. So we are going to roll a odd even roll. We're going to roll a D20, and if it is even, they will maintain their alliance. And if it is odd, Henry will attack Big John Studd. So let's see what happens here. It's a 13. It's odd. Henry is attacking Big John Studd. That alliance only lasted for so long. And now it is Henry and Studd going at it in the center of the ring. And it is Henry attempting a second rope splash. He's going to use the death jump roll for that on a rating of B. And on 10, that is a double team in the corner. So Big John Studd was double teamed by Mark Henry. And we'll add Kevin Steen to the, we'll add Bobo Brazil to the mix. Mark Henry and Bobo Brazil working over Big John Studd there, and that's going to cost Big John Studd a point of fatigue. So another interesting twist there as Henry attacks Studd. And next up, Big John Studd is now going to be on the receiving end of an attack by Bad News Allen. Studd weakened. Bad News Allen's coming after him. What's Bad News Allen going to be able to do here? He is going to go for an out of the ring roll. So Studd's going to have to make the save. He doesn't have Mark Henry watching his back anymore. So he is going to need a 14 or better to survive this. -2 for the power of Bad News Allen. But Bad News Allen is the weaker of the two men, so we'll leave it at a 14 or higher for Stud to survive. And on a roll of 9, Big John Stud has been eliminated by Bad News Allen after Mark Henry turned his back. Big John Stud is out. And it is Bad News Allen making his mark on this Battle Royal with an elimination of Big John Stud, and that is a huge elimination. And we are now down to the final 5 men, or the final 6 men. There's 5 men. The final 5 in the Battle Royal. Let's see, as Big John Stud is out. And Dan Severn is out. So yeah, we're down to the final 5. And Bobby Heenan is incensed. He is very angry at Mark Henry. And I don't think anybody on either side of the aisle trusts Mark Henry at this point in time. Johnny Valentine is still in the ring with James J. Dillon. That is the only alliance remaining. And let's see, Bad News Allen is on his own. Mark Henry is on his own. Kevin Steen is actually, everybody's on their own at this point in time except Johnny Valentine, who has James J. Dillon at ringside. All right, so we go to the next elimination roll, and it's going to be the double noggin knocker attempt as Mark Henry is squaring off against Bad News Allen and Johnny Valentine. And actually the power advantage on this one does favor Mark Henry with a -1. So he can hit Bad News Allen on a 14 or lower, and he hits Bad News Allen. He can hit Johnny Valentine on a 13 or lower. He does not, and he's able to connect on both of them and take a point of fatigue off of each of them with the double noggin knocker. So Mark Henry on a rampage here. As we go for another roll, Mark Henry now is going to try and put Johnny Valentine out of the ring. And Mark Henry is going to hit his out of the ring roll. So Johnny Valentine's got to make his save. The target is 15 plus 1 for the manager. He needs a 14 or better to survive Mark Henry. And Johnny Valentine has been eliminated. Mark Henry now on a roll. We're not sure what happened with that whole Bobby Heenan fiasco. But Big John Stud is out, and we're down to our final 4. It is Bad News Allen, Mark Henry, Kevin Steen, and Bobo Brazil. What is going to happen here in the next round? It is going to be, a double team, Steen and Brazil coming after Bad News Allen. I don't know why they would do that, as Mark Henry is the big man in the ring. But it is Steen and Bobo who are going to team up on Bad News Allen. The power differential here is a -3, so Bad News Allen is going to need a 23 minus a 6. He'll need 17 or higher to survive this double team, and he is out. Bad News Allen has been eliminated. And once again, the winner is going to come from the final guys to enter the ring, but I don't think it's nearly as egregious as it was in years past. So Allen is out by the combination of Steen and Brazil. So now Steen and Brazil are going to make an alliance and see if they can handle the unpredictable Mark Henry. And let's see what happens here. Good storylines coming out of this. I'm really enjoying the storylines. We're well over the 2-hour mark. Thank you for everybody who has stuck around. Kevin Steen and Bobo Brazil would be the matchup here. And again, we'll go odd even on the D20. If it is an odd roll, they will attack each other. If it is an even roll, they will maintain their alliance. And on a roll of 13, they will it will be Steen attacking Bobo. And as it's just gotten to the point now where it's so competitive, Steen is going for the out of the ring throw. Bobo needs a roll of 11 or better to survive. And on a roll of 7, it is Kevin Steen eliminating Bobo Brazil. So it has come down to the final 2, Kevin Steen and Mark Henry. And let's see, that's 2 eliminations in a row for Kevin Steen. With the assist being given to Bobo Brazil on that last one. Henry now up to 4 eliminations. I'll calculate the eliminations later. But Bobo Brazil is out, and the final 2 are Kevin Steen and Mark Henry. And this one is going to be conducted just like a regular match. And none too soon, because I am running out of voice here in the Dave Cave. So it is Mark Henry on the offensive against Kevin Steen. And Mark Henry goes for the straddle. And Kevin Steen with a level 2 reversal. Steen comes back with a bite to the face. Biting the face of Mark Henry. That's no good. Kevin Steen follows that up with a whip to the ropes. Henry with a C rating coming off the ropes. On a roll of 4, the defender makes a comeback after blocking a wild punch. And that puts... that puts Henry on the offense on this chart. And on a roll of 7, both wrestlers try to eliminate each other based on agility plus power. Henry is -3, Steen -2. Henry has the opportunity to eliminate Kevin Steen here on a roll of 21 -7. 14 or higher is what Steen needs to survive. And Steen barely survives. Steen hanging on by a thread, able to survive here. As the drama continues, Henry once again on the attack. And it's Henry with that sliding rope straddle again. Steen is not going to take a backward step. Henry tries for a chin lock, and Steen reverses that. And Kevin Steen comes with another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Mark Henry. The roll is 8. And that is a big spear. It's not a double team, but it's a spear delivered by Steen to Mark Henry. And that's going to cost Henry a point of fatigue. Steen maintains the attack. Steen now with a sleeper hold suplex. And Steen will maintain the attack. He's going to go for a death jump. A 450 splash being attempted here by Kevin Steen. That's a death jump roll. The death jump rating for Mark Henry is A. So Steen going for broke here, and on a roll of 4. A roll of 4 on the death jump attack is the opportunity for Steen to get thrown out of the ring by Mark Henry. He will need a roll of 13 or better to survive this. And on a roll of 3, Steen is finally knocked out of the ring by Mark Henry. Mark Henry is your winner. So Steen went for broke, went to the top rope. And Mark Henry caught him and eliminated him to conclude this battle royal. Your winner of the battle royal is the one and only Mark Henry. The world's strongest man is your winner. All right, what a crazy battle royal that was. And thank you everybody for hanging out with me this afternoon. Once again, Mark Henry is your winner of the 2024 Buckeye Bowl, and yeah, Henry winning makes sense. He came in at number 26. He for a moment sided with Big John Studd and Bobby the Brain Heenan. But then when the opportunity presented itself, he turned on Big John Studd, had a hellacious battle with Kevin Steen at the end, and I think Mark Henry's just going to be his own man one way or the other in this situation. And it is Mark Henry winning your 2022 Battle Royal. Thank you to everybody who hung out this afternoon. Mark Ferguson, Carl Zilla, Neil Lau, D. Scott Howard was here. Al Red Sox fan was here. Frank Wainscott, thank you for coming by. Salvador America, thank you for coming by. Cleveland Baseball Fan 879 was here. Dwayne Martz, Kathy Evans. Good crowd today. Thank you again to everybody who jumped on. And from the Dave Cave, Happy New Year to all. That's our